Getting the Reaper into position, you see how low they get Shaxx. He gets healed up, but the focusing beam from Dante would have taken him out there. So look at where the Outlaws have pressured the London Spitfire into. Just into this back corner. It is so tough for London to bounce back from that.
And I feel like the viewer can actually really get a good idea, Matt, looking up at those player portraits. Dreamer has gone down, but Crimzo and Juby do have support ultimate, so you can stall until your Winston returns to Defiant, and that's a good start. The enemy Winston has gone down for the Outlaws as Hardy falls to that duplicated self-destruct, and Dante is not done there. It's a focusing beam for his third kill in the fight as Blase melts.
I mean, Echo is just so... I mean, obviously, she's extremely versatile, being able to turn into the other heroes on the roster out on the field, but just the amount...
It looks much better here for Houston. Dante again duplicates a Diva, again will have a self-destruct, and he'll send it to the point. This will force the Spitfire to clear out or fall, and it's the ladder! Hardy and Blase go down. Dante's getting an immaculate amount of value here from these duplicated Diva self-destructs, Matthew. 99-2-0. Really not much looking for the London Spitfire so far. Couple of moments from Shaxx, but that's really all they can write home about. 100-0.
And it happened in the series.
A bit of space, and Dante's looking for Shaxx. Put him in the cone of silence, get that defense matrix over the Hellfire shotguns, and despite losing a player, the Outlaws actually look like they're winning this fight. That's just how much better they look when he's comes, and again, Dante!
What?
This man is unstoppable! Another 2K with the self-destruct! Piggy was the one that has these really good self-destruct numbers. Dante is actually outdoing his full-time Diva player.
Yes.
And Blase dupes a Lucio. Looks like Danny was correct going out on a limb. Here's that sound barrier for free for the Spitfire, but they lose Hardy anyway. They get a free sound barrier, and they can't keep their Winston alive regardless. That is not what you want to see. Here's a second sound barrier in the fight, and London, all the King's horses, all the King's men, couldn't keep this team in the fight.
I was going to say, who knows if that's actually the target that Blase wanted, but you have two sound barriers in this fight, and you still may not win it, as Hardy will come back with a Primal Rage. He's going to invest this to try and put London over the top in terms of percentage, but he just gets chunked down, has to move back, as the Outlaws will take the point. So, a great effect is be able to take out Happy at the start. So, see if London, this is probably their final fight, final chance to get the point back.
Crimzo has to back away and fade. He gets a little bit overextended there, and the Outlaws just go a little too far. Great response from Blase to identify some overextended Outlaws players and blow them up. That is the kind of respect that you need to be demanding in this matchup. And the Outlaws go a little bit too far. They will lose. And the Spitfire still have 6 players to work with here, but Kellex is clinging to life and he can't hold on any longer. Coalescence from Reaper comes out a little bit too late once more, and the Outlaws have a sound barrier. That goes a long way, but Happy gets stifled very early into that Death Blossom. Piggy, though, he isolates Shaxx, picks him out, tries to pick him up. He knows where the TP's going, and the Micro Rockets almost get the job done on their own. Self-destruct kill for Molfig on Juby, but he can't get back into the mech. And now to be Kellex and Reaper, the supports for the London Spitfire to try and keep them alive. But there's a self-destruct for Piggy. He'll make some space. The legs have been locked by Happy, and he's on his way back to the fight. Nice job by Blase. Again, he's the catalyst for the Spitfire in fights like this, but he drops far too early for London's liking. Reaper gets turned into a pancake. Happy looking safe and using those legs to get some distance. The Wrecking Ball drops in from Molfig here, and Shaxx doesn't have a frontliner to defend him, so he walks away. It's a sad look for the London Spitfire after they show some fight, Matt. Doesn't matter, headshot from above. Happy shows his dominance, and again, there's no mercy in this composition, so there's no erasing that mistake, and Happy will have himself yet another one, make it 3 before he's finally brought down, but the damage is done.
It puts the team in such a difficult position. Because Hybrid has to go back and deal with this Widow, he can't let him take the Archway and just start, free firing. Just look at all this damage though. Like, Molfig can't just turn around and play it. He knows there's players on the front side. Big grab here from Piggy.
Immortality Field had to be used there, and it was great timing from Reaper, excuse me. That could have been very different. They don't have that Batiste ultimate there, Matthew. And Matrix as well saves them off.
That saved hand side. They actually send Dante through the other side of the map, so a little bit of a flip of what they usually done, and they'll res this stuff.
That res might get punished. It does. Blase was looking for Jake the whole time. You saw how far out of position Jake had to go to get that res. And that'll be another fight won here by the London Spitfire. Matt, you can see why Piggy switches the Zarya here. Matrix, just anywhere really fits, to be honest with you. Maybe he can try and control some of this high ground. In the meantime, though, Jungkook's managed to get himself through and pick Hybrid off. Double Diva, duplication. Self-destruct over the top there. Oh, you're kidding me. Dante's somehow able to find these high-value duplicate kills. I mean, that's about as high value as you can get. Getting rid of Baptiste. Looks like Reaper lost the immortality field just beforehand. Otherwise, he probably would have survived. He was probably banking on his immortality field to be there. It sure as hell wasn't. And the Outlaws now are going to get themselves a crack at this last phase of the map now. Kellex will challenge with the rally.
They're going to try and fight this. They're going to rally out. End Supercharger here. End an out Matrix. So they really want to take this fight here. They're just popping everything.
It's not enough, though, is it? The Outlaws get rid of Hybrid there. A lot of these pets are going to fade away now in a moment, and Kellex has already gone down, so their rally impact is dead. Happy was looking again for Blase, but Junker just drags him back down to the earth with the rest of us mere mortals. Reaper won't be able to peek out here. Another immortality field, but Hardy now is caught after the fact, and the Outlaws will get that extra time extension, and they'll fight for the last phase of the map.
Who both had their ultimates at that time relatively easily, and this is a bad spot to be.
Even with the immortality field, Junker knocks everybody outside of it. This is what this man was doing in the main melee, and he paints it red with that Primal Rage Nano Boost combination. 50 seconds left on the clock here, but the Outlaws have set themselves up here for what may well be a last fight. And Matt, the Spitfire spent so many ultimates previously just trying to hold on to that second checkpoint. They don't have much to work with here. Reaper is going to have an amplification matrix, but there's not really going to be a good vantage point to use it. Look, they have to move on to the point, and if they move on to the point, they can't use the amp matrix. Dante gets in the way now and gets rid of the Baptiste, and Hardy goes gold to try and get out there, but it'll be a self-destruct. This will open up a lot of space here, and Jungle will double back to get that pushed across. Hybrid, very daring as he rolls onto the point and tries to find the flash kill, but that's going to be it. Kellex has to shield bash forward onto the point and loses his life instantly. 10 seconds. That's what the Outlaws have left after they finish the map.
Playing the Winston Diva on defense, not playing that double shield and up on the high ground.
So they played this setup with Dreamer, same heroes, and they bought 3 minutes of time playing like this. I don't really know how you get around this. I think Blase is just doing some serious work right now. Junkie realizes, wait a minute, I can't actually punish any of this. Here's the turn tail. I mean, I've overused that one myself like 4 times, but I'm glad you learned from Brent. Here's Hardy on the point though. Look, I mean, yeah, Junker just has to try and stall some time here. The Spitfire, it seems pretty telegraphed what they're going for, Matt. But Junker's back in the fight, so they need to be careful. They have to respect this Winston, especially now with Dante's bomb. Watch out! No one caught by that one. And the Spitfire should be good here.
And I gotta say, with the Widowmaker battle, you kind of would expect Happy to come out on top, but Hybrid has really done a nice job being able to take these.
I wouldn't want to be him, having to do that. I guess they maybe try and break up the Mercy res, Matt.
Brutal job.
But they don't stop it. Morphing eventually gets Jake, though, so nicely done. Immortality field needs to go. Piggy does a bit of housekeeping, but he's already lost Jungu and Jake. I mean, Jungu getting farmed a little bit here on this defensive side. Spitfire doing well, playing this ponderous, this compact composition.
Bring him back in here for a series. Probably just trying to get him some run.
Yeah, I mean, Jungu also, Dreamer has like a top 3 Primal Rage kills coming in a week 7 per 10, so pretty good, but there's Piggy with the bomb. Fair enough, Dante spent the whole series getting bombs of his own. Piggy now finally gets back involved there. Crimzo has gone down. Hardy is in an uncomfortable spot right now, and he's just waiting for it to be done. Still plenty of time here for London to work with. I feel like they've gotten past that, that sort of treacherous. Jungu lives, and you'll notice that he's getting topped up right now. Jake, he gets caught there. Nice job by Molfig to knock him off course. Not really Jake's fault there. And Matrix, though, doesn't get used, doesn't have to be, as the Outlaws are taking the fight to London.
No, and I believe they nano, that's Dante during that fight. They're probably going to lose Happy here. London going to be able to get the cart through, take checkpoint B. So, yeah, I mean, you lose Jake. That's a really tough spot to lose.
Okay, duplicate there. Just because you're getting under pressure, get rid of the Baptiste. Get in his face. Supercharge is in place. So Reaper needs to go here. Self-destruct, the body block. Oh, it's perfect from Dante. Yes, he has to give up his duplication and eventually his life, but he body blocks with Mini Diva as she remech. So if Reaper walks up, he's going to get blown up by the remech damage now. And Molfig is down. Not a good look here for the London Spitfire, and it looks like, Matt, their run might end here.
Yeah, 14 seconds on the clock. They might be able to get back towards the payload. And if you take this fight close enough, even at this underpass, you're going to get another one.
London have done well to stay in this so far, but Ripper's down again! Happy's picks might have been huge. The Widowmaker play has been sublime. Jungkook now with the Primal Rage, sees a Brig, doesn't want to deal with Kellex right now, so instead takes a pit stop in Hybrid City, removes the McCree, and then to the high ground. This man does it all, the trapeze artist Jungkook, juggling the London Spitfire like they're bowling pins. They get bowled over in just the same way. Jake drops there, Molthic hit with a body grenade, and Jungkook's looking pretty comfortable. He's been able to do so much in this fight, he's really been enabled, and now the Nano Boost was just the cherry. Sorry, the Orisa shield, he can still get halted by that. And again, this is where he wants the Spitfire to be, but he needs to respect the pressure from the archway. If he peeks out too far, he's dead to hit scan pressure. And that's what Blaze's doing. Dante's trying to get rid of the Ashe. Blase just denies him and then gets rid of Crimzo. And here is really how you play around this Junkrat comp.
Yeah, absolutely. That was perfect there for the London Spitfire. They push both tanks.
And it's, wow, it's the real deal as well. Nice connection. That drops the Spitfire very low and Hardy cannot stay alive. Supercharger is still in play. And Piggy's still plucky enough to challenge with his own shield, and Kinetic Grasp gives him a ton of extra shielding. But losing Dante again is not good. He's been getting picked off a couple too many times, and he's an Ant Matrix now to make things worse.
Yeah, you can res him back up, but how do the London Spitfire make progress onto the point? Like, you see Hardy, he has to just march up every once in a while, but there's another ultimate thrown in. A halt there.
Mortality used.
From Jungkook. Trying to
it's gone.
Trying to connect with the tire. Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, Ripper, I think, prematurely goes for the mortality field there, Matt, and it gets picked off.
Right, but I see
when they do, points still contested, so no ticks yet really at all. And Dante copies a Sigma. Crimzo is down and Jungkook stuck in the corner here. This could be pretty dangerous. Juby has to go for the Resurrect on that back. And he does. Molthic gets taken down here, and Dante, I mean, really acts as a very effective flanking pivot point here.
But look how hard London worked for that, and they get no percentage out of it. Pretty rough as Jake comes back on the Doomfist. Just trying to stall a bit. You'll have a Supercharger here.
It's a really reckless one. Supercharger first into Ant Matrix. Both teams with damage boosts. And that's a Gravitic Flux to remember. It has to be a Fortify early use in the fight there by Hardy. And Blase gets rid of Jake. That's big. Shax is brought back into the fight now, so it's a numbers advantage for the Spitfire. And a Riptide from Blase. How satisfying to get Juby with that one. Jungkook fortified, pushed back now. And another Riptide for Blase. Doesn't connect, but he doesn't need it to. It's just an embarrassment of riches as the Spitfire, at the last moment, come up with the goods. And they get the map done at least.
Yes, I mean, that's kind of the
Feign dive. It's a bit of a fake. They don't fully commit to it. That's not good, though, for Piggy. He's going to have to get away from this real quick. Nicely done. I think Juby tried to get in between the two of them, but Jungkook is lost in the meantime. Oh, this is hard. I think the Outlaws are playing this on hard mode, trying to play the Winston Diva on this particular map against an Orisa-based comp that's very anti-dive. So they're going to tick, though, at the very least, man.
Yeah, and what Jake is actually doing...
Okay, he's TP'd now. Ripper, theoretically in a good spot, tries to get that Amplification Matrix in the right spot, and it works. Piggy has to get rid of it first. And then Ripper drops down, but Kellex has already fallen. Jake, the best laid plans this time work out. Reaper is removed, and Dante gets the duplication on an Orisa. Wow, this guy really wants to play some high-octane Overwatch, Matthew. Here's the Supercharger. Doing a lot of work, and that extra hold is so handy.
Ant Matrix with a rally again.
Staying alive a super long time. Crimzo actually gets a ton of value with that Coalescence there. The later you use Primal, the better it is for the Outlaws. And they're getting so much value here, Matthew. What's going on the Spitfire? They have such a defensively oriented comp, but they're falling apart.
And you still have the sound barriers. Juby finally uses it here.
Wow.
Just so much survivability for the Outlaws, like I mentioned, coming into that fight. You have Hardy coming in here on the Wrecking Ball. Kellex trying to stall this out. It's just a matter of time, though, as, like I mentioned, just a lot of ultimates there for the Outlaws.
The Packy knows he wants to get into the fight quickly, so he does make some subtle decisions there. Dante's uncontested. This could be dangerous. Good immortality field from Reaper, though. Nicely. Good placement as well, that it can't be picked off so easily.
They're building up Coalescence here, yeah. So Jungkook just goes out, takes a lick of damage, and now they're going to go.
Crimzo lays the pathway perfectly. And for Jungkook, he walks in, and Jungkook knows he's getting topped up, and there's extra damage to accompany the Tesla Cannon. Crimzo fades out of the way. He's chilling. Supercharger there, just going to get taken down. Dante removes that with that duplicated Diva, and this is pretty much over. Self-destruct there from Blase knocks Dante out of that form. And that will be it. The Houston Outlaws, once upon a time, this matchup was going to be considered close for two teams that were very close together in skill. Now there's a gulf between them, wider than the Pacific. Nicely done for Houston. And they'll claim themselves the clean 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, Houston just comes in and takes care of business. If you're going to be the type of